ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। वासुदेवेन्द्र योगीन्द्रं नत्वा ज्ञानप्रदं गुरुं मुमुक्षूणां हितार्थाय तत्त्वबोधो विधीयते। So, Jai Gurudev, we'll quickly recap what we did yesterday. We'll just run through the verses and see whether we need to revise anything else. So, we looked at how the equation of Jiva and Brahma is through the Vakya, Mahavakya, Tattvamasi. So, if there is a doubt that Jiva and Paramash, an inquiry into the statement that thou art. What was that before that was? Yeah. The relation between Jiva and Ishvara, evam pinda brahmandayor aikyam sambhutam. Here we saw how the evolution of the whole universe is. How the from Brahma came Maya, Maya with all its three qualities, Sattva, Rajas, Tamo gunas, how the whole evolution of the universe began. What comes out of the sattvic aspects, what comes out of the rajasic, what comes out of the tamasic. And so therefore, evam pinda brahmandayoraikyam sambhutam. Thus there is identity between the micro and the macrocosm. Now what is Jiva and Ishvara? Sthula sharirabhimani Jiva namakam Brahma pratibhimbam bhavati. Sa eva jivaha prakritya swasmat ishwaram bhinnatvena janati. Avidyopadihi san atma jiva ityuchyate. Mayopadihi san ishvara iti uchyate. एवं उपाधि भेदात् जीवेश्वर भेद दृष्टि यावत् पर्यन्तं तिष्ठति तावत् पर्यन्तं जन्म मरणादि रूप संसारो न निवर्तते तस्मात् कारणात् न जीवेश्वरयोर भेद बुद्धिः स्वीकार्या. So the upadhis are different between Jiva and Ishvara, although Jiva is a pratibhimbam of Brahman, right? So the upadhi for Jiva is avidya, which is tamasic in nature, and therefore he's not aware of his true, we are not aware of our true nature. Whereas the upadhi for Ishvara is Maya, which is sattvic. Ishvara knows his true nature. He is Maya Pati, whereas we are Maya Dasa. So as long as this difference that I am different from Ishvara exists, then the whole cycle of samsara continues. Therefore, you should not accept this difference between Jiva and Ishvara. Now, what is how not to accept, how to accept that we are same as Ishvara through the Mahavakya Tattvamasi. So an inquiry into the statement that thou art. Nanu sahankarasya kinchijnasya jivasya nirahankarasya sarvajnasya ishvarasya tattvamasiti mahavakyat katama bheda buddhihi syadubhayoho viruddha dharmakrantatvat. So, but the jiva is endowed with ego and his knowledge is limited, whereas Ishvara is without ego and is omniscient. Then how can there be identity as stated in the Mahavakya that thou art between these two who are possessed of contradictory characteristics? So the next verse explains how the implied meaning is what needs to be taken and not the literal meaning. Iti chenna sthula sharirabhimani tvam pada vachyarthaha. उपाधि विनिर्मुक्तं समाधि दशा संपन्नं शुद्धं चैतन्यं त्वं पद लक्ष्यार्थः एवं सर्वज्ञत्वात् विधिशिष्ट ईश्वरः तत्पद वाच्यार्थः उपाधि शून्यं शुद्ध चैतन्यं तत्पद लक्ष्यार्थः एवं च जीवेश्वरयोः चैतन्य रूपेणाभेदे बाधका भावः. So if there is such a doubt, no, it is not so. That literal meaning of the word thou is the one identified with the gross and subtle bodies. The implied meaning of the word thou is pure awareness, which is free from all conditionings and which is appreciated in the state of samadhi. So also the literal meaning of the word that is Ishvara having omniscience, etc. The implied meaning of the word that is the pure awareness free from all conditionings. Thus, there is no contradiction regarding the identity between the Jiva and Ishvara from the standpoint of awareness. And this awareness is universal, right? Your awareness is not different from my awareness. So the aspect, the, the the entity awareness is universal. It is the same. This is what is there in all of us when we are in deep sleep. That is why deep sleep of everyone is the same. So therefore the implied meaning of both Jiva and Ishvara remain the same. Then who is a Jivan Mukta? Evam cha Vedanta Vakyaihi Sadguru Padeshena cha सर्वेष्वपि भूतेषु एषां ब्रह्म बुद्धिरुत्पन्ना ते जीवन मुक्ताः इत्यर्थः. Thus, by the words of Vedanta and the teachings of the Sadguru, those in whom the vision of the truth is born in all beings are liberated while living. Jivan Mukta. Here, the Guru is only, we require Vedanta, we also require a teacher who can guide us. Because the language used in the Vedas is mystical. So you can get lost in the words of the Veda, can misunderstand, can develop your own concept. So in order to get the train of thought in the right way, you require the Guru. He understands the mind of the student and lifts him up slowly to the highest truth. It is to be noted that the Guru can only indicate the truth. The student has to lift his mind by himself. So we have often statements like the Guru will, remove all your, should I say, of course the Guru will uplift you. But we have to put in our effort that That prayatna has to come from us. We cannot say, oh, the Guru will take care of me, I don't need to do anything. You cannot be rest assured. So our
Purushartha is very important.
Purushartha is very important. That is why Uddhared Atmanatmanam na Atmanam avasadayet. Therefore, Vedanta as revealed by the Guru is the means for self-realization. If one were to read the Vedas independently, one would get hopelessly lost and confused. One would not be able to resolve the apparent contradictions and would either conclude wrongly or give up, thinking that it is too difficult or illogical. But when the student listens, especially a qualified one, that is sadhana chatushtaya sampannaha, to the words of the Satguru, who is well versed in the scriptures, who is a Shrotriya, that is a Shrotriya, and well established in the truth, Brahmanishta. So these are two important definitions of the qualified guru, because there's so many gurus, we do not know who is a guru, who is a fake guru, right? So who is a guru? A true guru is one who is Shrotriya and who is Brahmanishta. One who is well versed in the scriptures and one who is well established in the truth. He realizes the truth. So a student, when he listens, and who is a student? A qualified student is one who has the sadhana chatushtaya sampanna. So it's not just anyone. So that purushartha that we have to put in is towards acquiring these, cultivating these and nurturing these sadhana chatushtaya. He realizes that the self in him is the self in all. Madatma sarva bhutatma. That all is truth alone. Sarvam khalu idam brahma. And that I am the infinite reality. Aham brahmasmi. Such a person is called Jivan Mukta, one liberated while living. We are naturally interested to know more about a mind-blowing state and one who revels in that. So the text continues with our question. So this is where Arjuna got interested in knowing who is this Sthita Prajna in the second chapter, right? He says, Sthita Prajnasya ka bhasha. Sthitadhir kim prabhasheta, kim asita vrajeta kim. So therefore, nanu jivan muktaha kaha, yatha dehoham, purushoham, brahmanoham, shudroham asmiti, dhrida nischayah, tatha naham brahmanah, na shudraha, na purushaha, kintu asangaha, sachidananda swarupaha, prakasha rupaha, sarvantaryami, chidakasha rupo asmiti, dhrida nischaya rupo, aparoksha jnanavan jivan muktaha. So then who is a jivan mukta? Just as one has firm belief, I am the body, I am a man, I am a Brahmin, I am a Shudra, in the same way, one who by his immediate knowledge, that is aparoksha jnana, has firmly ascertained, I am not a Brahmin, I am not a Shudra, I am not a man, but I am unattached and of the nature of existence, consciousness, bliss, effulgent, the indweller of all, and the formless awareness is a Jivan Mukta. I will read this part once again. Presently for us, the knowledge that I am a human being, moreover, a man or woman, is natural and effortless. I get up each morning with this thought and sleep with it. It will remain with me till I die. It is not merely a conscious thought. All actions too are based on this thought. I do not have to meditate or repeat that I am a man each morning. I do not need anyone to remind me that I am a man. I do not even have to remind myself. This knowledge is firmly rooted in me, and despite being told that intellect and intellectually convinced that I am not the body, I still conduct my life with the knowledge that I am a man. Similarly, when the knowledge that I am not the body, but the pure infinite awareness becomes firmly rooted, this is that jnana nishtha, right? Becomes firmly rooted and effortless, a person is called a jivan mukta. He need not meditate or remind himself about his true nature. This knowledge stays with him under all circumstances. Even at the time of the death of the body, he knows that he is the immortal self. He may even appear to be very ordinary, but his vision is quite the opposite of the ignorant man. So you can't make him out by looks, because he might just be like any ordinary person, right? But what is the difference between a jiva and a jivan mukta? Jivan mukta is firmly rooted in the knowledge that I am asangaha. Aham Sachidananda Swarupa. And it is not momentary, it is rooted. It is deeply rooted, just like how we as jivas have this deeply rooted knowledge that I am so and so, I am this, I am that, and all the different roles we play. We don't need to meditate to remind ourselves, but then similarly, the jiva and mukta, as a natural state, he knows he is sarvavyapi, sarvajnaha. He may even appear to be very ordinary, but his vision is quite the opposite of the ignorant man. The ignorant person takes himself to be the finite, transmigrating jiva and the world to be real. The jivan mukta knows himself to be the infinite self and the world to be unreal. So, two important aspects. One, the we consider, jivas consider the world as real, and I am this body, deeply identifying with the body, mind, and intellect. So, I'm just reminded of this verse from Bhagavad Gita which says, Ya nisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagarti samyami. Then that which is night to people is day to the jnani. And that which is day to people is night to the jnani. So for the jivas, the world is very real, whereas for the jivan mukta, the world is unreal. He looks at it as an illusion. Then asanga, the self being different from the three bodies and the three states, is totally unaffected by them. So too, the jivan mukta is unattached to them and the world. Asaktaha vayuvat charet. Remaining unattached, he moves like the wind. Sachidananda Swarupa. The self is ever existent, the witness of all and infinite. The Jivan Mukta therefore has no fear of death and suffers from no limitations. Prakasha Rupa. The self is the knowledge principle that illumines all thoughts, the life principle that enlivens all beings. And Sarvantaryami. The Jivan Mukta knows that the self in me is the self in all. He therefore loves all as his own self. Tulsidas ji says, Siya Ram mein sab jag jani, karaun pranam jori jig pani. Knowing that the entire world is pervaded by my Lord Sita Ram, with folded hands, I prostrate to all. This is the Sarvatma Bhava that is the penultimate step before Jnana dawns. So in order to have the Sarvatma Bhava, we will have to give up our little likes, dislikes. I don't like this person, or in fact, even worse, I hate this person. That is why we should not have these, I hate them. Hate should not be there in our dictionary. Similarly, likes and dislikes. Not just people, situations, events. So unless we are able to see the whole world as pervaded by just oneself, you go beyond the Nama Rupa. That is why Gurudev, in one knowledge bit, he said, enlightenment is very simple. All you have to do is remove the name and form, remove the faces from people. That is the state of enlightenment. But we get stuck not just to our face and body, but to everybody else's face. The moment we look at other people, it immediately triggers two channels: like, dislike, approve, disapprove. And then we get stuck in that negative spiral. But if you see them beyond the Nama Rupa, what you see them as just pure existence, then it would be possible for us to be in this Sarvatma Bhava. Chidakasha, space is all pervading. The self pervades even space. That is, it is beyond space. It is the very illuminator of the concept of space. What is space? It is nothing but Akasha, which is the first Panchamahabhuta. So the self pervades even space and it is beyond space. So aparoksha jnana. What is aparoksha jnana? Knowledge is gained in three ways: pratyaksha jnana, paroksha jnana, aparoksha jnana. Right? So pratyaksha is direct knowledge, is that which is known directly by our sense organs. Example, I see this book, or I see this print, I hear these words. Paroksha jnana, indirect knowledge, is that which is gained by hearing from others or reading. That is, you hear about something from another person. It is of an object far away that cannot be known by the senses. That which is indirect can become our direct knowledge. Example, I had never seen the Taj Mahal but had heard of it. Now I am seeing it. So what is Paroksha Jnana? Indirect knowledge, which is what we're all getting now. We're getting indirect knowledge of Brahman. We're getting indirect knowledge of our true nature. How? By listening to the words of the Guru, by reading scriptures, by doing swadhyaya. That is how we are getting paroksha jnana. Whereas aparoksha jnana is immediate knowledge, is that which is neither direct nor indirect, as it is not of an object which is either near or far. The knowledge of the subject I is always immediate. No means of knowledge like the senses and mind are needed to know myself. We all know I am, but we do not know our true nature. The Jivan Mukta knows who he is in his true nature. His knowledge is not an intellectual concept, but an immediate experience. So, aparoksha jnana is different from direct knowledge or indirect knowledge. It is immediate knowledge. So basically, three types of knowledge are described here: direct, indirect, and immediate. Why is it not direct knowledge? Because it is not an object. Self-knowledge is not that of an object. It is your own self. Anatma, you can see. All those that are anatma, you can objectify. including your own body, mind, intellect, memory, ego, all this you can objectify, you can see them, perceive them. Whereas the self, that is the illuminator of all this, you cannot see. The very fact that you see means that the seer and the seen is different. But here, you are the very, you are the one that you're seeking. So that is why it is different from direct knowledge. It is immediate knowledge. And once this knowledge dawns, it stays. It is not like it comes and goes. So what is the purpose of this knowledge? What do I gain from this? This is explained now. Brahmaivahamasmiti aparoksha jnanena nikhila karma bandha vinirmuktaha syat. By immediate knowledge that I am Brahman alone, one becomes free from bondage of all karmas, that is, actions. By immediate knowledge of the self, one does not gain any special powers, unworldly experiences, or worldly achievements. One need not stop worldly actions or do something extraordinary. Knowledge does not create anything new. It only removes the ignorance of the self. The false notion that I am finite is removed. The ignorant man performs actions with the feeling that I am the doer, karta, and therefore he becomes the enjoyer and sufferer, bhokta of the results. Whereas the realized soul knows that he is not the body, nor the doer of actions, akarta, nor the enjoyer of results, abhokta, and is therefore free from the bondage of actions. Also, having attained supreme bliss, there is no more to be attained, praptavya, and therefore there remains nothing more to be done, kartavya. He may perform assumed duties, but with complete detachment. Just like how Krishna did. He did not need to do anything. He was always, he says, even though I do not need to do anything, I continue to do. These are all assumed duties. There is nothing left for a jnani to do. But in order to be a role model for others, they continue to do what they're doing. Just like how Gurudev is doing. The innumerable number of things that he does. He may perform assumed duties, but with complete detachment. We perform actions compelled from within by a sense of incompleteness, whereas the Jivan Mukta performs actions out of a sense of fulfillment and love for all. This is not freedom from action, but rather freedom in action. So beautifully, so many differences between the Jiva and the Jivan Mukta are mentioned, right? Let's quickly recap all the differences before we go on to the next section on karma.
First of all, the knowledge is deep rooted in Jivan Mukta. He knows he is not body and means he knows he what he is. That is the first.
This Maya Dasa and Maya, what is this? Maya Dasa is a Mayapati.
Yeah. So we'll enumerate Jiva first and the next will be Jivan Mukta, right? So Maya Dasa is Jiva, whereas Jivan Mukta, Jivan Mukta is Mayapati or Ishvara is Mayapati. Same. A Jivan Mukta is no different from Ishvara. So the Jiva need not meditate that he's so and so, he's a man, he's a Shudra, he's a Brahmin. Whereas a Jivan Mukta does not need to meditate that he is a Sangaha. Sarvavyapi, Chidakasha, Satchidananda Rupa. That is his natural state. He does not need to remind himself. Right? For the Jiva, the world is real. Whereas for the Jivan Mukta, the world is unreal. He sees all this as just an illusion. The Jiva continues to act, desiring happiness, desiring eternity, desiring knowledge. And he acts from a sense of incompleteness. He goes outwardly to seek all of this. Whereas the Jivan Mukta acts. He acts because he takes on these assumed duties. He need not act. There's nothing for him to acquire. Praptavya na asti. There's nothing for him to acquire. And therefore, he also does not need to do anything, but he still does assume duties with a sense of completeness from within, for love for all. And the jiva has this strong notion of doership, aham karta, and therefore also aham bhokta. And that is why he gets caught up in the cycle of karma. Whereas the jivan mukta is coming from the space of aham akarta. I am not the doer. And therefore, I am not the enjoyer as well. Any other differences we have?
One question I have, like Jivan Mukta is not bothered about his upliftment, or like he is not, is he in that frame of mind that he like seeking heaven, or like he's beyond that, of course, but does he still have that still that craving to evolve further? Is it
No, he's complete. He's complete in
he
himself.
feels complete?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's only coming from the space of that fulfillment, Purnatva.
Beyond that, he doesn't have anything left for any nothing. He just
No
lives
seeking.
with, yeah.
It might seem that he is doing things for something, but that is only for Loka Kalyana. Like, for instance, Gurudev does a lot of these homas and pujas and all, but it is not for his sake. He does not need any of this. He's doing it purely for love for all, for the sake of everybody else.
Right.
Just like how Krishna, he need not have had given the whole Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. He's a jnani himself. Krishna, why did he need to bother giving this jnana, this Bhagavad Gita to anybody else? It was only out of compassion, out of love for all. And therefore, this beautiful sentence, this is not freedom from action, but rather freedom in action.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you just now.
Yeah. So that is why in our Bhagavad Gita, we have sannyasa, right? Sannyasa is not freedom from action, but freedom in action. Jnanena karma sannyasa. With knowledge, you're free from action. You're free in action. You're still acting. But that beautiful verse in chapter 5, which says, what is that? Pashyan, Shrinvan, Sprishan, Jigran, Ashnan, Gachan, Swapan, Swashan. All these are actions. But he does it with that sense of non-doership. It's not like he's not acting. It's not like the jnani is not eating, sleeping, drinking. He's doing everything. But with that sense of detachment, asanga. And that is why the jnani does not accrue any karma, which is what we will see now. Karma, the various types of action. Anything else you want to add, Mirinal?
No. That's what the action thing. I was not remembering what, but it is so beautiful. That's what I wanted to hear, and you said it. Thank you.
Yeah. Freedom from action, rather freedom in action. I mean, these are all beautiful things to remember, recollect, and contemplate. So, karma, the various types of action are now discussed. Karmani katividhani santi iti chet agami sanchita prarabdha bhedena trividhani santi. Karmani, actions, katividhani, how many types, santi are, iti chet, if asked thus, agami sanchita prarabdha bhedena. Agami sanchita prarabdha. Trividhani, three kinds, santi, are there. If it is asked how many kinds of karmas are there, the reply is there are three kinds of karmas, that is agami, sanchita, and prarabdha. Now, can we live without actions? Even to keep the body alive, one has to act. Man performs countless actions from birth to death. Each action produces results. The various actions are categorized into three, depending on the results one gets from them at different periods of time. They are agami, sanchita, and prarabdha. Each is now further elaborated upon. See, here I've just remembered why we have to see tapas is one of the sadhana chatushtaya, which is what? Sukha dukha. Sitoshna sukha dukkhadi sahishnutvam. And that is what even Krishna says. He says, Matras parshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkadaha agama payino nityaha tam stitikshasva bharata. So actions produce results. Our contact with the sense, our senses when contact sense objects, they produce some experiences, some results. But forbear them. What do? We become engulfed by them. We get entangled by them. That is why we accrue this karma. But if we were to walk through them unattached, with that state of balance, and not get swayed by the opposites, then we are not accruing any more karma. Agami karma. Jnanotpatyanantaram jnani deha kritam punya papa rupam karma yadasti tad agami ityabhidhiyate. Jnanotpatyanantaram, after the dawn of knowledge, jnani deha kritam, done by the body of the realized soul, punya papa rupam, of the nature of merit and demerit, karma, actions, yad, which, asti, are, tat, that, agami iti, thus abhidhiyate, is known. The results of actions, good or bad, performed by the body of the realized soul jnani after the dawn of knowledge is known as agami. What you sow today, you reap tomorrow. The results of what you do today come as agami in the future. So here I just want to bring your attention. Here it's mentioned done by the body of the realized soul. But this applies to also what we do. Even what actions we as jivas do also becomes agami. It's not just the jnani deha kritam. The reason why they put up only Jnani here is because the next verse will tell what happens, because the Jnani is not affected by his Agami karma. But the Papa Punya that he may have accrued, it goes to people who praise him, the Punya goes. Those who humiliate him, the Papa goes. But we all also accrue Agami. What you sow today, you reap tomorrow. The results of what you do today come as Agami in the future. The results may come the next instant, after a few years, or in a future life. The results get drawn to the performer of the action. It may appear that one acts while the other enjoys or suffers the results of his own past actions. It may appear that one acts while the other enjoys or suffers the results of his own past actions. Animals too are identified with the body, but perform actions without a sense of doership. They have no choice in action, but act according to instincts, programmed by nature or God. Man, identified with the body, acts with a sense of doership and has a choice in action. He may do, may not do, or do otherwise. Kartum shakyam, akartum shakyam, anyathava kartum shakyam. A wise man, not being identified with his body, has no sense of doership, yet may appear to be performing actions through his body. As far as he is concerned, he is the pure self, free from actions. As you sow, so you reap. The results of actions depend on the intention behind the actions. Good intentions result in merit, punya, and bad in demerit, papa. That which results in sorrow, tension, regret, or guilt is papa, while that which gives joy, a feeling of inner fulfillment, and self congratulation is called punya. That which springs from a concern and love for others and is one's own duty is punya. That which springs from selfish motives and is prohibitory is papa. What may appear as papa in one situation may be punya in another time and place, and vice versa. One must always be alert and perform only good actions if one wishes to live peacefully. But as far as a wise man is concerned, there is no good or bad actions for him, as he has no sense of doership. Let me know if you want this repeated.
So in animal kingdom, there is no papa punya because there is no freedom for the action they have to choose. So in we have a karma choice, means action choice. So we have agami and all these karmas. So according to that, when the impressions of action in our antakarana is there, we get the life, next life when we uh, after the death. But for animal, there is no karma, no agami karma, no papa punya. So they will remain in that yoni only.
Once they exhaust that prarabdha, you don't know to what that person, the animal was in a previous life, no?
Hmm.
So once that prarabdha of a dog is done, you don't know what the next life will be. That
Hmm.
samchita,
Correct.
that
Hmm.
balance of that.
Because here we have read agami karma, we may get immediate action result, or maybe in other lifetime also.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
correct.
It can be
Thank you.
instant,
Hmm.
it can be in the
Hmm.
next few years, or it can be in the next lifetime.
Correct. Thank you.
So as you sow, so you reap. That is the punchline for Agami. The results and what is the results of actions depends on the intention behind the actions. Good intentions result in merit and bad in demerit. That which results in sorrow, tension, regret, or guilt is papa, while that which gives joy, a feeling of inner fulfillment, and self congratulation is called punya. And that which springs from a concern and love for others and is one's own duty is punya. See, here the aspect of swadharma comes in, swakarma as well, right? So, as long as you're doing your swakarma, you are accruing punya, knowingly or unknowingly. And as long as you're doing seva for others, this concern and love for others, that is also a punya karma. That which springs from selfish motives, what about me, all the time, and is prohibitory is papa. Anything which is adharma, anything which is paradharma. That is why swadharme nidhanam shreyah paradharmo bhayavaha. So when you're doing things which is not your nature, all that is prohibitory and that which is selfish, that becomes papa. What may appear as papa in one situation may be punya in another time and place, and vice versa. What
So in
example can
seva,
you give? Yeah.
I have a question. When in seva, people have some motives. People have motives, selfish motives. Key people should recognize me so that they do the seva or whatever duty they are assigned there. They are doing with the selfish motives. So that is also papa then. So seva, that um, main objective is also only defeated there. So
Of
it is
course.
not a seva.
Correct. Seva is also three types, no? Tamasic, Rajasic, and Sattvic.
Yeah, correct.
So your seva has to be Sattvic. It cannot be something you want to uh, do in order to gain some merit for yourself. Forget about it. That's why in Gurudev, in one of his, I think in the advanced course, the last video that we normally watch about seva, if you think, oh, if I do this, my meditation is going to be deeper, forget about it. You do seva out of pure joy of doing it. Not because someone will recognize you, not because you will get punya, not because your meditations will get deeper. It is required at that time, you're available and you just do it. No strings attached. But what may appear as papa in one situation may be punya in another time and place and vice versa. So what example can we give here? What comes to my mind is the surgeon wielding the knife, whereas the terrorist wielding the knife. So if a terrorist or a murderer uses the knife to kill someone versus the surgeon using the same knife to save a life. So it depends again on the intention. So one must always be alert and perform only good actions if one wishes to live peacefully, which is why living a dharmic life is important. But as far as a wise man is concerned, there is no good or bad actions for him as he has no sense of doership. I think even this we saw sometime, I think in Bhagavad Gita, I think, where that is what Krishna tells Arjuna, right? You're killing. You're not killing. If you just look at the action of killing your own grandfather or killing your teacher, it is not considered a papa there, because you're following dharma, you're protecting dharma, and you're doing your duty. Your duty there is to uphold dharma. So whatever actions we do, which are our swakarma or swadharma, become, they are not sinful actions. So although Krishna is asked, Arjuna asks him, you are Madhusudana, but I will be called Guru Sudana. That is why Krishna tells him, get up and fight. So we have to be alert. That is important. Because we have a choice in action. What are the three choices? Kartum Shakyam, Akartum Shakyam, and Anyathava Kartum Shakyam. We'll see Sanchita Karma tomorrow. Yesterday we did not do questions. I thought we'll just go back and revise and do the basic questions. The first starting, what is Sadhana Chatushtayam, till we get that by heart. Yeah, what do you think? Till we get those definitions by heart, then we'll go on to the next part. Anyways, after that, evolution of universe and all that, it is mainly verse type. I mean, it's all big statements. So rather than that, if we just remember the initial definitions first, and then we'll go on to the other aspects of Tattva Bodha. So we'll quickly revise. So does anyone want to ask the question? Good to see you back, Dr. Renu. After a long gap, I hope you're doing well. Yes, always good to see you. So sadhana chatushtayam kim? Nitya Nitya? Is anyone
Nitya
watching?
Viveka Buddhi.
Yes.
Then
Yeah, so Nitya Nitya Vastu Vivekaha, Tha Mutrartha Phalabhoga Viragaha, Shamadhi Shatka Sampattihi, Mumukshutvam Cheti. Vivekaha Kaha?
Nitya Nitya Vastu Vivekaha.
Correct.
Right?
But what is Viveka? Nitya
Distinguish.
Vastu Vivekam Brahma, Tad Vyatiriktam Sarvam Anityam. Ayameva Vivekaha. And what is Viragaha? See, that is what we learned, no, in the evolution of the universe. Nitya Vastu Ekam Brahma. Tad Vyatiriktam Sarvam Anityam. The truth itself is absolute. Truth is that which exists. Its existence. And from truth came the whole world, the universe that manifested. Out of the aspect, the creative aspect of the projection and the creative aspect of Maya. Right? So all that is an illusion. Where the Upadana Karana and the Nimitta Karana both are the same, the effect becomes an illusion. Effect is an illusion. So Viragaha Kaha?
Swarga.
Iha Swarga?
Swarga.
Correct. Iha Swarga Bhogeshu Icha Rahityam. Iha Swarga Bhogeshu. So here as well as in the heaven. Icha Rahityam. There is that you're devoid of desire to enjoy here or hereafter. That is Viraga. So just imagine if you're doing our work with that dispassion, You're not doing it for gaining some punya or a better birth somewhere else, right? You're just doing things dispassionately. Viragaha. So these are two limbs of the sadhana chatushtaya. What about the third limb? Shamadhi shatka sampattihi ka. Shamodama.
Uparamati, titiksha,
Uh-huh.
shraddha, samadhana.
Cha iti. Very good. So Shamodama, Uparama, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhanam. Shamah kaha.
Mano nigraha.
Very good. Damah kaha.
Bahya nigraha.
Chakshuradi. Very good.
Bahya nigraha.
Chakshuradi Bahyendriya Nigraha. Shamodama, Uparamah kaha. Swadharmanushtanam eva. Titiksha ka.
Shitoshna sukha dukkheshu samatvam.
Very good.
Sahishnutvam.
Very good.
Samatvam.
Sitoshna sukha dukkhadi sahishnutvam. And Titik. Shraddha kidrishi.
Guru Vedanta Vakyeshu Shraddha.
Vishwasaha.
Vishwasa Shraddha.
Vishwasaha Shraddha.
Shraddha.
Very good. Shraddha kidri. Then what is the last one? Shamodama Uparama Titiksha Shraddha Samadhanam kim.
Chittagrata.
Chittaikagrata.
Chittaikagrata.
Very good. So we got all of them, right? And Mumukshutvam kim.
Moksho me bhuyat iti ichha.
Moksho, very good. Moksho me bhuyat iti ichha. Excellent. So we seem to be getting there, no? We've almost got all the definitions by heart. So let's revise this till all of us get it, and then we'll go on to the next part, okay? So we'll close here. So we are on page 105. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Shri Krishnarpanamastu. Jai Gurudev.
Meditation is accepting this moment, living every moment totally with depth. Let us keep our spine erect and body relaxed and eyes closed. Relax your shoulders. Keep a big smile on your face. You're sitting like the statue of Buddha, very serene and with a serene smile on your face. Relax your body. Let's take a deep breath in and breathe out. Become aware of your chest region, throat and chest region. If you notice some tension in the body, just let it be. Accept those parts of the body where you feel a tension The other parts are in comfort. Other parts are at peace. Become aware of that also. There are many good things about you and inside of you. Acknowledge them. They will never leave you. And the negative aspect you may see in you is never going to stay with you forever. They are all guests for some time. Let them be. Sit with the total acceptance of yourself the way you are at this very moment. Total acceptance of what is now here. Lead us to deeper meditation. Let go of all the effort. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let go of all your effort and be in this emptiness. And slowly and gradually become aware of body and surroundings. And you may gently open your eyes.